contingency plan for the small business owners in Ward 5. That is very important. We have to look at the traffic impact of the neighborhoods. We'll have one to the north, we'll have one to the south. When planning comes out, they don't talk about the traffic impact of the neighborhoods in totality. They bring out officer planning, but they never bring out DDOT and traffic planning together. Again, please vote for William Boston. Thank you.
We need economic development. Economic development means jobs, but we also need to take care of the mom and pop stores and the entrepreneurs that are already here. And if we bring in big box stores, we better have a plan in place. And I would propose that the economic development, the Office of Minority Business, have services to show these folks that have been supporting our neighborhoods for so many years how to remarket and retool their stores. Thank you. Ray Zapata.
Yes, I agree by bringing in Walmart. The thing is, we need jobs, and they will create a number of jobs, and there will be an offset to other jobs in the community because other business will develop. Walmart do not sell pizza, they do not sell newspapers, so other entrepreneurs can open up shops in this area. So this will give us a chance to create some jobs in our community. So by bringing Walmart, it's a plus. It's not a negative thing. So we're looking for jobs, we're looking for good development. Thank you. Frank Wiles, May 15th.
We all know Ward 5 needs more amenities. I'd rather spend my money here in Ward 5 than Hyattsville. That being said, we can't have Walmart just at any cost. I actually wrote our current LSDB law, so we need Walmart to contract with our local businesses as suppliers. I actually wrote our current hiring law for First Source, so we need to make sure that Walmart is hiring our residents. Everything that Walmart brings, all the unintended consequences should be taken into account, and we should make sure that the deputy mayor in their business office is making sure there's contingencies for our small businesses, as well as the SLBD. Thanks.
We have no reason to be afraid of big box retail like Walmart and Costco. In fact, believe it or not, it can help to grow small businesses, and I'll tell you how. That Fort Lincoln project with the Costco, $630 million in new tax revenue over 30 years. We can take a portion of that tax revenue on a yearly basis, 10 to 12%, and actually use that to reinvest to give low small business interest loans and do infrastructure. If you think it hasn't been done before, look at the Housing Production Trust Fund in 2002 under Mayor Anthony Williams. Funds from the real estate boom went to fund affordable housing. Thank you.
Someone car, maroon color, plate 1937. You're blocking someone's driveway at 1528 Taylor. Please move your vehicle. You don't want them to call the police and have it towed. If you're blocking someone's driveway and you know where you parked, please graciously go out and let the homeowner leave. Thank you.
The question about economic development is really the #1 priority in Ward 5. You know, Ward 5 is the 3rd highest unemployed rate in the city, and that's simply unacceptable. But as an attorney practicing for 24 years, I'm running because we have to be a tough negotiator at the table. We're not going to accept economic development and big box on their terms. We have to accept it on our terms. That means we have to make sure that it's smart growth for our communities, make sure we get jobs, make sure we get benefits, and make sure that it meets our expectations for economic development. Ron Magnus again.
Yes, hi, I'm Ruth Marshall. The short answer to the question is whether Walmart will help or hurt Ward 5. I definitely think that it will help Ward 5. We do need some new jobs, and it's going to create jobs. I attended the hearings on the Walmart locations, and a lot of planning went into this. I think if we're concerned about whether it's going to hurt us or not, we need to make sure that they comply with all the rules and regulations that have been in place for them to come into our community.
As a former trial attorney in the Department of Justice, I've negotiated on behalf of my country to make sure that we had consent decrees in nursing homes and mental health facilities around the country. I say that to say, if I were at the table when we were negotiating for Walmart, we would have had a better community benefits package. I think that's what's critically important because folks are right. You know, Walmart's going to create jobs and it's going to allow you to go there and get things, you know, that's not very expensive. The problem is the jobs that it creates are low-wage jobs. They're not family-sustaining jobs. And so, unfortunately, the fact is, you know, some of the folks who get those jobs at Walmart are going to still have to depend on public assistance to sustain themselves and their families.
As you can see, I was right. The next Ward 5 councilperson is in this room here tonight with us and with you. I do want to acknowledge our own son of Ward 5, who's the at-large council member who lives next door, Councilmember Vincent Orange. This question, I'm again going to let each of the candidates have an opportunity for 45 seconds to respond. 45 seconds. Our young people are our treasure. Outside of your family, how have you taken a young person under your wing and shown them the process of good citizenship and civic engagement outside of your family?
You all know every year we engage thousands of kids through the Summer Youth Employment Program. I've had direct oversight over some of the summer youth in the office I've worked in. I've worked at some of the schools doing volunteer work. I've actually also adopted families through the collaboratives. So through mentoring, which I've engaged in the past, through work experience, I've helped to look at how we bring our young people along and show them the right way to come up and contribute to the city that they're going to live in, work in, and be in. Thank you.
Thank you. I had the opportunity working in Brentwood to run a truancy program. We work with 60 kids to encourage regular and consistent school attendance. That's the first step. In order for kids to grow and to be healthy and viable adults, they have to have a quality education. In order to get a quality education, you have to show up to school. So in communities like Brentwood, where it is a challenge with truancy and throughout Ward 5, I have experience working directly with kids, driving them to school, giving them lunch money, giving them bus fare.
So to answer that question in 45 seconds, just a couple of things. I've been involved with Mentors Inc. here in the District of Columbia. It's an organization that was started through the Greater Washington Board of Trade while I was Legislative Counsel. I've been involved with the DC Association of Adoption and Foster Children as their chair, advisory chair. I've been involved over the last 10 years as a deacon in my church at New Bethel Baptist for helping to raise close to $200,000 in scholarships for young people and mentoring some of our college students graduating from high school. I've been involved in mentoring law students to pass the bar, to get admitted into law over the last 20 years. Once I came out of Harvard Law, where I got my JD, and Georgetown, when I got my LLM, I was working to get students to pass the bar.
Ruth Marshall. I have not done this, I have not mentored or tutored with an organization or institution, but what I have done is taking young girls that are the age of my niece, who I raised since she was 3, and I teach them how to look for apartments, through the newspaper. I teach them how to do a budget for groceries. I teach them how to go and look for jobs, and also have them come down to my job and shadow me on numerous occasions to see how I work in the business arena. That's what I do on a personal basis. Thank you.
I've spent time mentoring kids in my community. I've spent time mentoring law students in my alma mater, University of Maryland Law School. I've also helped to reestablish, a couple of years ago, 4-H Club in Bloomingdale, where I work with kids on programs regarding financial literacy and entrepreneurship. As well, I spent time as a law clerk during law school working with kids at Oak Hill, defending them when they had institutional infractions, but also helping establish a library to help them read and mentor them as well. Right now, I currently sit on the board of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Washington in the D.C. region, so I'm working directly with kids every day when I do my work at the Boys and Girls Club. I'm a product of Ward 5. I grew up in the parks and the recs. I grew up in boys clubs across this city. I think there's no greater issue than attacking education, making sure kids have an adequate opportunity to learn. And I'm going to work hard as your next council member to do that.
I've successfully coordinated a literacy program for 1st through 3rd graders. I've served on a DC scholarship, the DC Stars, to award scholarships to our best and our brightest. And I've actually done an excellent job of motivating our young people in my community, the ANC 5B10. And I was able to